A Turkish-American activist is reportedly killed by Israeli army gunfire in the occupied West Bank. Dozens of students are unaccounted for after a fire breaks out at a boarding school in central Kenya, killing at least 17. And a New York judge delays Donald Trump's sentencing in his so-called hush money trial until after the US presidential election. The 14-year-old boy accused of killing 4 people at a high school in Georgia appeared in court for the first time on Friday. Colt Gray was charged with 4 counts of first-degree murder and will be tried as an adult following Wednesday's attack. His father also appeared in court after being charged with involuntary manslaughter and second-degree murder. He faces a total of 180 years in prison. The deadly super typhoon Yagi made its second landfall in China on Friday night in the country's Guangdong province. That's according to Chinese state media. Yagi first hit China's popular holiday destination, Hainan, prompting mass evacuations, with many seeking shelter in neighbouring Vietnam. Yagi is the strongest storm to hit southern China in over a decade, bringing wind speeds of over 230 kilometres per hour. A sports venue in Paris will be named after the Ugandan Olympic runner Rebecca Cheptegei, who died after her ex-boyfriend allegedly set her on fire. The Paris mayor said dedicating a sports venue to Cheptegei would help her memory and her story remain among us. Cheptegei, a 33-year-old mother, died on Thursday with severe burns after a former partner allegedly doused her in petrol and set her on fire outside her home.
A fire at a boarding school in central Kenya killed at least 17 students. 70 children are unaccounted for after the blaze at the primary school's dormitory on Thursday evening. Hundreds of people tried to help rescue the children, many of whom were sheltering under their beds. The cause of the fire is still under investigation. President William Ruto said it was horrific and devastating. A lifelong Republican and former Vice President of the United States, Dick Cheney, has announced that he will support the Democratic candidate, Kamala Harris, in November's election. In a statement, Mr. Cheney declared that in the country's nearly 250-year history, there had never been an individual who posed a greater threat to the republic than Donald Trump. He accused the former president of using lies and violence to attempt to stay in power after losing the 2020 election.
Resetting Irish relations. Sir Keir Starmer visits Dublin later today for talks with the Irish Prime Minister.
Hospices warn they're facing their worst financial crisis for 20 years and call for government intervention.
Back to Earth. The Starliner spacecraft returns home minus the astronauts it was supposed to be carrying.
Let's have a look at what the papers are saying this morning. The front page of The Guardian reports that Labour will soon ban landlords from evicting tenants without cause. That's as part of a package of measures for renters. It says ministers will put forward the Renters' Rights Bill for its first reading in front of MPs next week.
The Eye reports that an Ozempic-style weight loss pill could be available in the UK within 2 years. That's according to industry insiders. The paper says 8 drugs are in final stage tests worldwide.
Daily Telegraph leads on the story that England's interim football manager Lee Carsley has said he would never sing the national anthem. The Birmingham-born coach, who played for Ireland, said he was always really focused on the game.
And Give Back Your Gong is the Daily Express headline as it reports on comments reportedly made by the actor Sir Ian McKellen about the late Queen Elizabeth. Well, biographer Margaret Holder is quoted suggesting Sir Ian returns his knighthood.
Another story on the front page of The Guardian this morning, Charlie, and a double-page spread inside is about Sarah Storey winning her 19th gold in Paris. And I mean, she's so much a part of the furniture that you kind of think, oh, another gold. But when you look at the numbers, so it's her 30th Paralympic medal earned across 2 sports, 9 Paralympic Games. She first competed in Barcelona in 1992, her 19th gold medal. And she's 46 now. And she says her glutes were on fire and she's finding ways to manage the process and privilege of getting older as an athlete, which implies to me she's not even stopping now.
She's formidable.
Unbelievable.
And she's absolutely... I've had the pleasure of meeting her before.
The Body Shop's been rescued from administration by a consortium led by the cosmetics tycoon Mike Gittania. Aurea Group said it doesn't plan to close any of the remaining stores, which employ 1,300 people.
And just before we go, a reminder that drivers have got until tonight to submit their application for the ULEZ scrappage scheme. The money will allow drivers of non-compliant vehicles to get cash grants. TfL guarantees any applications submitted before midnight will be processed.